10 p.m., December 26, 2006, one day after Christmas. A man and his family were traveling on the highway between Merritt and Kamloops near Napier Lake in British Columbia, Canada, when they observed 3 bright lights in the eastern sky. The lights seemed to come out of nowhere and move to within 1 kilometer of them. There didn't seem to be anybody out on the road that clear winter night. Assuming the lights were indicative of a plane in trouble, the man decided to pull the car over to the side of the road and get a better look. He stepped out of his vehicle and stood looking into the night sky. His 5-year-old daughter, inside the car, marveling at the lights, asked aloud if the lights were angels. Just then, a clean, white pickup truck pulled up behind them before pulling up beside the family and stopping. The father found this odd, as there had been no other cars out that night that he could see, but now, within 2 minutes of stopping, this pickup truck appeared. Looking inside, the father could see 2 men, both wearing white coveralls. The strangest thing? They looked exactly alike. The father took them to be twin brothers. Then the passenger of the pickup lowered his window and asked the father if he had a problem and if they could help. For whatever reason, the father thought it best not to mention the strange lights, even though he was quite certain that they had seen them too. The father declined their offer for help, thanked them, and then watched as they drove off in the direction of Kamloops. After the truck disappeared out of sight, the man climbed back into his car and proceeded to ask his family if they had noticed that the truck did not have a speck of dirt on it. They too had noticed it. Anyone who knows about Canadian winters knows it's nearly impossible to keep your vehicle clean given the amount of snow, slush, and salt on the roads. Within 10 minutes, the family had shrugged it off. They started the car and continued on down the road towards Kamloops. The lights were still quite visible in the night sky as they drove. Remembering that he had a camera, the man decided to pull over near Knutsford and take a picture of the lights. He got his camera, stepped out of his vehicle, and took a few shots in the direction of the sky where the lights were hovering. And this is when things went off the rails. As he stood taking the picture, a vehicle pulled up behind him out of the darkness. It moved over and pulled up beside the family's car and stopped. It was the white pickup truck. Inside were the same 2 twins he had seen earlier. Like a replay of the first time, the one in the passenger seat rolled his window down and again inquired the same question as the first time, whether the man needed help. This time the father became quite disturbed. Whatever was going on wasn't normal. Again he told them that he didn't require any help and thanked them. As they drove off, he got a chill up his spine. He and his family had waited for around 10 minutes before setting off down the highway behind them, and they should have been miles ahead of them, yet somehow they had pulled up from behind. Even if the truck had pulled off to a side street, he was certain that most of the side streets were muddy and slushy, yet somehow this truck remained dirt-free, as if it had just come out of a showroom. It made no sense. They waited and watched as the truck disappeared into the darkness of the highway before setting off. The entire family was quite disturbed and discussed what had happened the rest of the way. The father elected to not pull over again until they made it to their destination.